What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sensational Gent. I am the Sensational Gent, Sean C. And here is live stream number 20. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful holiday season with your friends and your families, celebrating. Um, we are back into the holiday season, and I know that a lot of you guys are busy, which is why I didn't do a live stream last week right before Thanksgiving, because I know you guys dealing with family and dealing with all that stuff, right? Dealing with being full, dealing with being stuffed, dealing with cooking, dealing with the crazy lines. Some of you guys may have participated in Black Friday. I don't know. I don't do none of that stuff. Well, I do like Thanksgiving, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And so today on the Sensational Gent live stream number 20, again, cannot believe I've been here or done 20 live streams. I don't even know what to say. Craziness, right? And because the live streams fall on a Wednesday, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to do live streams all the way through Christmas because Christmas is, I believe, is on the weekend or something like that. So I will continue to do that. And today, what we're going to talk about is other people's drama ruining your life, dealing with toxic people. Now, we've talked about this subject many times, but there was some interesting characters and interesting stories in the news that I thought kind of fell in this category. So I wanted us to get here and discuss that today. All right. So we're going to talk about brief examples. I'm not getting too deep into these people's lives, but we're going to talk about we're going to talk about Andrew and Chris Cuomo, right? These are brothers. We're going to talk about them. We're also going to talk about Common. We're going to talk about Tiffany Haddish. I am not going into specifics about their relationship, but there's certain aspects of their relationship that I want to touch on today that I believe show toxic traits, right? And I can honestly say that some of those toxic traits I've even displayed in my own relationships. So I want to bring that out today too, because I think, again, when it comes to trying to live your best life, trying to find your purpose, it's good to understand this about yourself so that, so that we can make more informed decisions, that we can analyze and look at ourselves to live our best lives. Okay. See what else we got here. There's a new segment today that I'm introducing called What's Going On. So I'm actually going to start within the channel, start doing more kind of news-based information type stuff where we relate it to the purpose and the central theme of the Sensational Gent. I even said my own channel wrong, Sensational Gent. And I want to make sure that I bring that stuff out, right? I want to talk about the news more. And the other last thing is I want to talk about the new format for the Sensational Fitness and Wellness channel. There's a link down in the description that if you haven't subscribed to that channel, you should check it out. I'm using all my years and experience of fitness training and helping people reach their fitness goals in order to bring it to you in a way that's just a normal guy. I am no longer in the military. I am just a regular civilian, just trying to maintain and look the best I can on a daily basis. I think that you guys want that as well, to be your healthiest self so that you can continue on, right, with more of this thing called life. And so that's it. So let's see. Do we have anybody? You gotta excuse me because my setup, I just messed myself up because I gotta look down to see something. See what we have in the comments. Karen says, "Hi, Sean." Hi, Karen. How you doing today? I hope you had a great holiday. You have flowers, eggs, and yeast. Yay, y'all here. Thank you very much for being here. Let me go back up. So make sure y'all check out Karen's channel, Karen M House of Chill, right? Very cool place to hang out. Might be a little later at night for some of you guys, but it is a great place to talk and listen to some good music there. Also, you got Flowers, Eggs, and Yeast. Thank you all guys for being here. Check out their channel where you see them make always delicious baked goods and foods, and also you have buzz with your cuz. So, you know, a little talking about a little libations to make your time good if you're over the age of 21. And then we got Dave and Kathy. How you doing? Thank you all for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you all so much. And then let's see. Let me make sure I hit the comments right. Everybody's saying, so they said, hi, Karen, Cam, Teresa, you too, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then it looks like a new studio. Yes. So I was going to go with one of the other backgrounds I had. And then I decided, I was like, new show, new background. Let's try it. See what's going on. And then Flowering Disease says, great topic. I hope it really is. And, you know, like this new segment, you know, I'm looking at the news. I'm not trying to get too deep into it in terms of, I'm taking it more of a light route, kind of being more myself with the news, okay? And that's kind of what I want from that. So let's get right into this because there's a lot to discuss. I want to hear from you guys. Make sure you leave your opinions, thoughts, comments down in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. I want to talk to you guys. I want you to be a part of it. And that's what I hope makes the Sensational Gent live stream actually pleasurable to come to because you all are involved in this. I want to have a robust discussion around your thoughts and feelings on these topics. Let me know what you're saying down in the comments and we will discuss it. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon notification next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos here on TSG. And we do these live streams again every week on Wednesday, unless I say different or don't say different, okay? All right, so we're gonna go back to these gentlemen right here, the Cuomo brothers, okay? So if you are not familiar, Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York, and he was caught up in multiple scandals, right? And I'm not gonna go here and rehash all the scandals in which that this man was involved in. That's the man to your left, and the shorter guy to the right is his brother, Chris Cuomo. Now, this family right here has a long, they're known throughout New York. They have a lot of ties and stuff like that. They have ties politically because I believe that their father was also in politics or something like that in New York. Again, I'm not here to try to bring up those things specifically. But what I wanted to talk about was recently in the news that Chris Cuomo, who is the guy to the right that I showed you, is an anchor on CNN, right? You'll see him on like the nightly newscasts and stuff like that. And they try to come in there and they talk about how they're fair and balanced and all that stuff. Oh, wait, that's Fox News, right? I don't know all these things. I actually stopped watching all of them. I'll peek in to get what I need, kind of cross-reference all the information and find out where the truth is somewhere in the middle. But Chris Cuomo as an anchor, there used to be something, and a lot of you guys that are here may remember this, but you had the Walter Cronkites and you had all these people that were on TV back in the day, and there was something called journalistic standards. And with that, with those journalistic standards, you was expected to report the truth. You weren't expected to be corrupt in any type of way or to be corrupted because the truth was the most important thing. Unfortunately, with our news nowadays and with even our politics, a lot of the corporations now influence the media that you see, and they also influence our politicians, right? Because as long as they have as long as they're receiving money from their donors, then their interests are what the donors' interests are, not what yours is. And so that's where we get into this story, because it was Chris Cuomo who was going on CNN and he was defending his brother, or basically, you know, when his brother was first dealing with the pandemic, okay, when he was dealing with that, he was singing his brother's praise. And then the scandal came out, which started to, you know, basically beat up on his older brother, Andrew Cuomo. And then Chris Cuomo basically didn't say anything. And then eventually he said, well, I have to back away from it. And then it came out that he kind of was helping his brother. So the first news was, I'm helping my brother. I just gave him some advice, just brotherly advice, and that was it. Well, recently, if you don't know, came out that Chris Cuomo was doing a lot behind the scenes, PR, to try to quell the growing disdain for his brother. Okay, so his brother has been known or has been accused of, um, being a sexual harasser in the workplace. Very, very toxic man when it comes to how he treated the opposite sex and basically, putting them in bad positions. The story here is that you had Chris Cuomo doing all this stuff behind the scenes that he shouldn't have been doing. Just him being a journalist, he should have been completely out of it. But at some point, that's your family. So he's helping his brother out. So you can understand that. There are people in your lives, some of your lives, that you feel like, I would die for that person. I would go to bat for that person. I'm going to say what I got to say and do what I got to do in order to stand up for my loved ones. And that is admirable. But today's topic is more about what happens when those relationships are toxic, right? It's toxic in when you have to lie and cheat and do all these things to help the people that you love. At what point do you cut off those type of relationships when it's going to affect you, your family, and your bottom line? Let's see what the chat says. Dave and Kathy says Mario was their father. That's right, Mario. I couldn't think of his name. New York governor and presidential candidate. Yes, I could not. Thank you very much for that information. See, that's why I have you guys here to bring that up again. So Chris Cuomo tried to go behind the scenes, and he was trying to run Andrew Cuomo's whole PR thing about these sexual allegate these sexual, I don't say sexual assault, but let's call it sexual assault allegations against his brother. And again, standing up for your brother, he loves his brother. I mean, that is apparent. It's gleaming off his face when you see it. And helping friends and family is a great thing. We should be there for our friends and our family, right? Especially if we love them, we say we care about them. Because the reverse is true. If you were going through something and you were being embattled, you want to know that the people that are in your life got your back, that they're willing to give you the benefit of the doubt when no one else will. All right? So it makes you wonder, how much did Chris Cuomo know? If that's your brother and you're tight as you say, do you know the truth? Do you know that maybe he was a little aggressive with some of these women? Maybe he was a little forward with some of these women, right? With all the deaths that happened in New York due to the pandemic, was your brother truthful about the deaths, right? The nursing homes where people were died and crammed into, right? Do you know about those things? Or are you going by your brother's word? Brother, I didn't do any of that thing. I did not have relations with that woman. I'm telling you now, I did not have relations with her. Okay. Plaza, you said I have to run to dinner, guys, but I'll play back tomorrow, Sean. That's okay. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for being here. If you don't know, check out their channel. Again, I'm sure there's going to be some festive goodies to be found there. Also, let me go back real quick. Make sure you guys check out Dave and Kathy's channel. Dave and Kathy High, check out that channel. They're going to take you on their journey and their adventures with them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I know that you will too. So make sure you guys check out their channel. So I wanted to make sure I gave y'all that shout out. All right. And at what point do you stop supporting the people that you love in your life? At what point does the toxicity make you say enough is enough? Did Chris know exactly what his brother had done and was standing up for him? Or did his brother tell him, I didn't do it? And so you just believe him without looking at the facts. Any way it go, any way you cut it, any way you slice it, that's a bad look. That's a bad look. You're a journalist. Your job is to uncover the truth. And if that truth is something that you don't like, you still have a responsibility to cover it or to distance yourself from it. You understand what I'm saying? So if he knew that his brother was in the wrong and you stood up for him, you're a journalist. That goes against those principles in which you are supposed to be, that you are supposed to uphold, right? It is incumbent upon you to make sure that the news is real news. And we hear these terms, fake news and all that stuff like that, but it is. People rely on that. People look at this stuff, they're influenced by it. And if Chris Cuomo did not know that his brother had done any of these things, isn't it his responsibility, regardless if that's your brother or not, to make sure that you investigate properly, to make sure that your brother is telling the truth or not, or if he's guilty or not? I don't care if it's your brother or not. You have a responsibility. So if you guys don't know, Chris Cuomo, because of his in-depth involvement into his brother, Andrew Cuomo, he was suspended indefinitely by CNN, which was the right move. Because, again, any way you slice it, he's in the wrong. He should have stepped away and said, hey, brother, I have a journalistic duty, expectation that I step away from this because it's going to cost me my family. Now it's cost him his family. I'm sure he's paid with leave right now until this thing shakes down. I think now that they pretty much expect us to just let it kind of die and go away, and then that we forget and then just bring him back, right? I don't know. My question about this story is, at what point do you say, with the people that are in your life that are toxic, enough is enough? At what point that the people that you love and care for and that have been there for you in your life, that you say to them, enough is enough? Do you understand what I mean? Because if it is going to take down, see, you have your bigger family, you have the family you grew up with, but you also have, Chris Cuomo has his own family, his wife, his kids. What is his responsibility to them? Stand up for your family no matter what, or stand up for the truth? Not accept people that are liars. Not accept people that have no integrity. And I'm not saying that's his brother. I never expect him to cut off his brother completely, ever. Do you understand? I don't expect that. That's unrealistic to think that you're going to cut off your family completely because of an incident. No, they're family. You love them through that stuff. But at one point, does people toxicity in your life make you say, enough is enough? So that's just something I was thinking about for that one, right? And I didn't even put up my banner for that one. I didn't put up any banners. Water thicker than blood. You know, I always say blood thicker than water, but in this case, sometimes the people that aren't your family are close to you. It's closer to you than your own family. That happens. All right? Let me know down in the comments. Do y'all have any comments about that? Let me know what y'all think on that one. Let's see. Karen says, stand on the truth. I cut my brother off forever. Listen, I feel like this, Karen. I feel like I do understand the sense of family. That's your family, right? You can love your family. You don't have to like them. And that's the case. Nobody says that, there's this thing that family needs to stick together. And I think to some extent they do. That's your tribe. And that used to be an honored principle that you stick to your tribe. But you also tell your tribe to get their shit together. Excuse my French, anybody that's out there, but we're adults. Get your stuff together. And sometimes you have to let people have that time by themselves to get their stuff together. I think you owe it to them to let them get their stuff together. So if you got to cut a person off for a little bit so they didn't get their stuff straight, it is what it is. David Captain says, it may break your heart, but I wouldn't have lost my job for him. Not for this reason anyway. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, he was on TV. He touted his brother's praises. And then he said, hey, I can't do it because of CNN. I got to back away and this, that, and the third because of my job. I'm a journalist. At that point, you tell your brother, look, you know, I always got your back. If there's anything, if you need me to be there for you support-wise, in terms of emotionally or whatever, yes, I'll be there for you. I'll ride this storm with you. But when you're behind the scenes and you're calling up journalists and you're calling up people trying to kill stories and you're trying to put a PR so that, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys like everyone else tell you. This may not be the most PC thing I'm about to say, but hey, if you don't rock with me because of it, I don't care. But I don't believe the believe all women thing. I say, like you should in anything, you follow where the facts go, right? Innocent until proven guilty. See, I think we've forgotten that. In this cancel culture world, we go guilty until you prove innocent, but it's already too late because your reputation is damaged. You understand what I'm saying? Because some people are innocent and some people are not. Let's find the facts. Let's find the facts. Because everything is so political now. That's why I back away from all that stuff. Go for the facts, the truth. People are so riled up in their feelings that they don't want the truth. They just want what makes them feel good. Sometimes the truth don't feel good. But usually the truth doesn't because it is the truth, not what we want to feel and not what we want to hear. David Kevin says, I wouldn't cut him off forever, though. I wouldn't either. I totally agree with you. That's your brother. You love him. I mean, like, you got a close relationship with your brother. You still be there for him. We say, hey, you know what, man, you got to cut all that stuff out. You take your lumps, and then you move on. Let me tell you, I've messed up before, and it's not a good feeling when everybody cuts you off. And not even for, like, just a dumb mistake you made because your life was in turmoil. And they cut you off and you by yourself. You're on this island by yourself. You were already feeling down and now you're even more down. And the people that are supposed to have your back is not there. It hurts. It hurts a lot. So I'm going to tell you for a fact that I do not believe and subscribe to that. I do not subscribe to the fact that if there's someone that you love, you cut them off forever. But you do give them time to get their crap straight. Tough love can be effective, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. Yes. Sometimes that's tough love to cut them off. If their toxicity is causing problems in your life, you could be supportive, but there's a certain point you got to say, yeah, no more. No more. You know what I mean? Karen says, my brother needed to be cut off. I gave him plenty of chances. And you know what? And in that case, Karen, I totally agree with you. When you go ahead and you give someone the benefit of the doubt, you've been there for them, but they keep burning you and burning you. In the wise words of one man, he said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Tell me who that is in the comments. Tell me where that quote came from in the comments. David Cat says, understood, Karen. My brother is a great guy. Yeah. If your brother is great, you know, you still might be hard to cut him off, but you love him. Karen says, my younger brother was awesome, but he passed away in his 30s. Oh, that's sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Karen. That is really sad that he lived such a short life. You know, crap. I mean, I'm in my 40s, and I feel like I'm still young, so that's a young time to pass. Dave Cat says, sorry to hear, Karen. Kathy and I have been blessed with good health for all our family. Yep, that is a blessing. And I say it all the time on the Sensational Gent. I tell you, the two things that you have the most valuable in this world is health and time, right? Without either, you're not here. Karen says, my older brother doesn't feel down about anything. I think he's a sociopath. Some people are seared from their feelings. And that's kind of what we talked about in the last live stream we had 2 weeks ago. If you guys remember, I talked about things from your childhood affecting you. Some people just may grow up that way, in which case, Karen, they would be sociopaths, or psychopaths, one of the two. Oh, I almost knocked everything over. I'm trying to take these slippers off because they're very hot, very warm on my feet. Yeah, but yeah, in which case, some people, there's something that happened. Is usually you can date it back to your childhood, and you can see something in childhood that just triggers it. And sometimes when people are that cold and unfeeling and uncaring, it's a wall. It's a wall built up to protect them from whatever it was that affected them in the past. And that's why we talked about that last week. I try to make these building blocks into how do we get better? How do we look past these things? How do we, how do we get rid of the things that are holding us back from being our best selves? We talk about that all the time, about living your best life. You can't do that without being your best self and having purpose and all these things. We got Neil in the house. Sorry I'm late. Neil, man, it's all good, bro. Look, I know we coming back from the holidays, trying to get it right. I know you put in a lot of work to make sure you can take your family on vacation. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you check out Neil. I have a story to tell. He's putting out great stuff, puts out motivational content like I do. He also has a recent video out about him going to the Aeronautics Space Museum, which I think is great. That was awesome. That was a great video. And then some highs, okay? So, yeah, the Cuomo's is something else. I can't even begin to tell y'all how crazy that story is for me. Just that I get it. You're going to help your brother. You're going to help your family out. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. Okay. So this is the rapper Common, and this is the comedian Tiffany Haddish. If you guys haven't seen them before, now they were dating, right? And they recently just split up. All right, they recently just split apart. And that's not a big deal, right? We know that in Hollywood and stuff like that, these things tend to happen. We know that this is a normal part of life and relationships, whether you be in Hollywood or you're just a regular person. The reason why I bring these two up, because I haven't really talked about, I really haven't made this channel about dating relationships since when I first started this channel, but there is something specific that I want to talk about. Tiffany Haddish had pretty much a rough childhood growing up. I believe she was adopted and stuff like that. She really had a rough go of it coming up, right? She also had, toxic relationships. And then you have this guy Common, who by all accounts is a really good guy, right? Like from all accounts that I've seen or whatever. And Tiffany Haddish would not disagree that Common is a good guy. Matter of fact, she used the term that some of you guys out there may have heard before, and it's an insult. She said that Common was boring. Now, me and my uncle just had a discussion about this on the patio before I came in to do this live stream. I said, man, I do not want to make this about relationships, but that's not all. If Common wanted to stay in her good graces, she was like, well, he could buy me an apartment complex. So you have now in this dating scene, that people are like, they want you to make up for the deficiencies that they have within themselves. See, to me, and this is what we talked about on the patio, me and my uncle, that being boring is a good thing. It just means that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But nobody wants the boring person anymore. We are now so engulfed into being entertained. And, what's the next thing? People don't want to watch long form content like what I'm putting out right now. People want the quick stuff. People want the 1 minute videos. People want to be, they just, and if they don't have social media, they're bored. And that's the society we live in. And she's old enough. She's 40 years old. I think he's in his 40s too. And so I bring this up to say, your toxic background, your toxicity within yourself could be holding you back from your blessings. It could be holding you back from being with the person or being in the situation that you need to be in. What is wrong with being a boring man or a woman that you do things and you just have a normal life? Why do I have to entertain you? Funny story, you guys. So when I would get on like Tinder or something like that, and I see certain profiles, and women will have on there, "Don't be boring." I swipe left immediately on them. And the reason why I do that is because I'm supposed to entertain you. How, like, I'm supposed to be a certain way since you feel entertained? Boring is within you. Boring has nothing to do with me. As my uncle put it, when he's bored, he just get up and go find something to do. Because it's not your job to entertain me. You see what I'm saying? And I bring up these two for one other specific reason. Because this is the way relationships are in general now out in the world. Do you see? That's the connection I'm trying to say. That it's no longer good enough to be a good person and to have your stuff together. Because when you do, you're boring. Everybody is so inundated with their own toxicity that when someone good comes in their life, they don't know what to do with. You guys out there that's already listening, my audience, I know you all have that already, and I really appreciate that. I actually love having y'all in here because I think there's something to be learned from. Something to be learned from you guys' relationship, where you realize that, I have my person, I have my loved one, and that's enough. That's enough. And I'll be honest, putting this out for the world, but I've had some good women that were in my life that, like maybe there should have been more, but due to my own toxicity, due to my own patterns of going through stuff, it seems like the good women all suffer for it. And here I am, alone doing a live stream on a Wednesday night with you all. I'm just playing. There's no other place I'd rather be right now, actually. There's actually water tonight. Yes, I'm drinking water. It's been a long holiday season, and yeah. There's a lot of highs in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Neil says, everyone want toxic person until the lights get cut off. Give me boring and stable any day. Yeah, I agree. I would say the reverse. I'd say everybody doesn't want a toxic person until the lights get cut off. Because when the lights are on and you're with them, actually they want them there too. I guess it's both ways, but I love what you said. Sorry, I just realized I don't even think it's the reverse. It's exactly what you said. So I would say is a lot of times nowadays, because the lights get cut off, they want to stay with that toxic person, or they want a toxic person. Thank y'all for holding me with that one. So listen, I told y'all I passed on some good women just being like, I needed some excitement because I go through these lulls where I'm working and it's boring and nobody wants to be with that. And then I want to have fun. And so, maybe the good woman is, boring to me. I've been there. I'm saying that I understand this pattern. I understand this pattern because I've lived it. I've seen it. It's not healthy. That's why, I like this time that I'm by myself because I love resetting myself. I love growing. If you're not a better version of yourself than you was 5 years ago, and then 5 years before that, and 5 years before that, if you're not reevaluating yourself and becoming better and better as time goes on, you're missing the mark. You're selling your life short. You're holding yourself back. And in some cases, you could be ruining your own life. All right. I think that there's something broken within people that make them feel that they don't deserve better. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Okay. So, in my next segment, what's going on? So, right now, we're going to talk about some news real quick. We're going to talk about some news real quick. We're going to make this real light and fun, but this is real news that I picked out that I want to talk about. Okay. So in the news recently, there was a group of people that got into fights over Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out soon. It's been waited for, right? And a bunch of nerds got into a fight over some tickets. Can you imagine what that looked like? Can you? I mean, hey man, hey dude, give me those tickets. You imagine two nerds fighting? Really? Can y'all? Can y'all see that? A bunch of nerds up there fighting over some tickets. I mean, if nerds could actually nerds don't have to worry about fighting, right? I would tell you this, look. Where was this fighting spirit in these nerds when they were getting picked on by bullies? You know what I mean? When they was getting picked on in school, there was this fighting spirit by these nerds, right? But that's right. Bullying has been outlawed. Oh man. Oh my God. Oh, let's see. Looks dangerous. Yeah, that was just a minor little scuffle. Whatever. I just picked that clip to kind of illustrate my point about these kids over here fighting for Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. You know what I mean? To me, that's just hilarious. And uh, let me tell you, say what you will, but getting bullied would have stopped these nerds from fighting each other in line. That's just my opinion. Maybe a good bully or two is like, you know what? I don't need to fight. You know what I mean? Now, just these all joke people, so don't take this seriously. Okay, that's what this segment is supposed to be, a light and airy. Okay. The next person that I want to talk about, who's back in the news again, so I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Juicy Smollett. Now, if y'all don't know about Juicy Smollett's story, he's a gay actor who was on the show Empire, who claimed that there was that racist, homophobic men attacked him. They jumped him as a part of a hate crime. And he went on to tell everybody that they did a bunch of heinous stuff to him and that this was a hate crime. And it come to find out that these were not real people attacking Juicy. It could be Jussie Smollett. I don't really know, but I listen to Dave Chappelle so much. I'm gonna call him Juicy Smollett. Okay, and then so so anyway, so recently here in the trial, right? Because they found out that or they trying to assess whether he lied or not, which they know he lied. So now he's going to trial for the lying. And then the lawyer for Juicy, he was grilling the cop on the stand because they found apparently a um, a journalist or somebody found a bottle of hot sauce that had bleach in it. So he claimed that they put a rope around his neck, they poured bleach on him. And this is my problem with the story. I kind of have to agree with Juicy's lawyer. Like, does it make sense for someone to put bleach in a hot sauce bottle? I meant to have the hot sauce bottle right here. Do you know that's like trying to put toothpaste back in a tube? Have you seen the little opening for a hot sauce bottle? You trying to pour that big jug of bleach into that little hot sauce bottle? Come on, that sounds ridiculous. Why don't you just put it in some type of container or something? That don't even make sense. That's stupid. My God. You wonder if they planted that evidence or whatever. I'm not saying I'm for or against Juicy. I'm just saying, to me, I saw that story and I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Who would put bleach in a hot sauce bottle? Again, go look at the hot sauce bottle in your kitchen. The opening about that big. About that big. Okay? You ain't gonna get much in there. Again, whatever person thought that was a gun, that was terrible. Okay. Now, it just, man, I just don't even understand it. Okay. So there's a woman. My next story is there's a woman in South Carolina who was in a Walmart and she stepped on a rusty nail. Okay. And she was awarded $10 million for stepping on a rusty nail. Not even making that up. Now, before you guys start running to Walmart trying to find rusty nails to step on, okay, understand this. When she stepped on that rusty nail, her foot got infected, so she lost some toes. And then she lost a foot. And then they cut her leg off from like the knee on down. So above her knee on down. So for 10 million, she got lost a leg. Now, I know some of y'all out there might be like, 10 million, it might be worth losing a leg. Some of y'all be like, I'd still do it for 10 million. You know what I'm saying? I hope not. Let's see. Neil says, I agree with where the nerds was at when the bullies was around. I agree with where the nerds was at when the bullies was around. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. It's like, look, you guys are fighting each other line over tickets. And you guys wasn't doing nothing when the bullies would come around. But again, Neil, they don't allow bullying now, right? You don't get that bully that's beating up on you in school anymore, right? Everybody bans, and there's more nerds in school than there are bullies now. So, which I think may be a good thing, but man, these kids, right? And then Neil says, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, man, I'm both. You know what I mean? I'm a lover until you fuck with me. And then, excuse my French. Oh man, I didn't mean to say it, but whatever. Y'all get it. Hope y'all get that. So, all right. And then let me see. My last story is about a woman. I want to bring her picture up for you guys. So it's about a woman who went in for a laser facial treatment. All right. She went to get a touch up on her saggy skin, as she put it. And then the beautician who was doing the laser surgery on her face was on the phone with her boyfriend and basically was arguing with him while she's doing this laser treatment on this lady. Okay. She wound up leaving the laser on her face for too long and stuff like that. So I am going to show you what she looks like right now. Okay. So that's the lady, right? She's very pretty, ain't she? I think she's pretty, you know. I don't know what country she's in, but she's somewhere over there, and I don't know if it's a Middle Eastern country or whatever. I think it's, you know, wherever she at, she has a little bit more freedoms than I thought, but that's her looking all good, right? That looks good, right? Huh? What y'all think? Good, right? Okay. Let's go to, oh, sorry. Let me show you what happened after the laser treatment. Y'all ready? Oh, that's not the right picture. That's the title screen. What happened to my other picture? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Uh-oh, what happened? Why did it switch my picture? Oh my God. Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties here, people. I'm gonna come back to this screen so y'all can see me. And then I'm gonna try to find that picture. What the heck just happened? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I found it, y'all. I'm so sorry. There we go. Now y'all want to see what she looked like? Check it out. Bam! Man, look at that. Man, they made her look like a man. Look at her. She looked like she got smacked with like dirt or something. It just, I mean, ain't that terrible? Look at that. So that's what she looked like. That's what she looked like after the laser treatment went wrong. That's what she looked like before. That's what she looks like now. That's crazy, right? So that is some really unprofessional stuff. Okay? Get off the phone. Look, people can't even stay off the phone long enough to do their job now. That's where we live at, people. Okay? See, if you had pay phones like back in the day, she wouldn't be able to be on that phone, or she'd do that. There's no way. There's no way. She'd have had that cord trying to do the laser treatment. There's no way it would have worked back in the day. Okay? And can you imagine if this lady had said, "Hey, what are you doing to my face?" She could have got her lips cut off by the laser. She'd have a worse problem. Look, this is what I imagine. This is why, like women nowadays, y'all need to stop. You look good, baby. Okay? And even if you don't, be okay with yourself. You are gonna get old. Embrace it. Love it. Love yourself. Stop trying to defy time. Father Time is undefeated. Stop trying to turn back the clock. That lady was pretty the way she was, and she wanted to get touched up because she wasn't pretty enough. Ladies, stop trying to compete with these 20-year-olds out here. No real man want them 20-year-olds, okay? Nobody want to deal with them stress troubles. Here is y'all messing, injecting your butts and your lips and your face, and you're cutting there off everything, okay? This is what I see when y'all do that kind of stuff. That's what happens when y'all get them lip injections and stuff like that. You look ridiculous, okay? You look absolutely silly. Okay, you got small. That's the way you was born. Embrace it. Okay? Embrace your tiny lips. Embrace not having no lips. You don't want to look like that. You don't want to look like that. Looking like a clown. Y'all remember them candies back in the day? It used to be the big lips, and you bite on the lip, and the lip just kind of stayed there as a candy. Y'all remember that? Anybody know that? Am I crazy? The big lips. That's what that lady looks like. And that's what so many women around here look like. And I live on the West Coast. So it's ridiculous how many people inject their stuff. All right, let's see what Dave Cathy says. Not worth a leg, but the VA keeps me up with my shots. I'll step on it. Dave, that's funny, brother. That is hilarious. You like, you know what? $10 million to live good. I'm up on my shots. I'll take the chance. I'll take the chance. Karen says yes. Uh, yeah, like what are people doing? Why are people going to such lengths to try to change themselves? I get it. You don't feel good inside. Doesn't that not go back to the topic of this story where we talk about the toxicity of other people? Sometimes that toxicity is within ourselves as well. I might be bringing this up, and I'm not talking to everybody that's in my audience at the moment. I'm talking about people that if you watching from home, you may see this and you say, you know, you may have that toxicity within you. You may be that toxic person. And if you are, it is incumbent upon yourself to try to improve and to be better. But you ain't got to cut on yourself. You ain't got to do all that stuff to improve. Improve what's in here. And then the glow from you, from being a better person, will show on the outside. Okay? Now let's just face it. Some of us, like myself, we're just not good looking people. Okay? We're just not. And that's okay. I embrace it. I embrace that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I embrace my ugly. And when I say my ugly, we all have something that we wish was a little bit better or a little bit different until we don't. You just accept it. You either just accept it or you say, man, I wish this was a little bit better. Why do you think we end up in the gyms? Why do you think we end up doing all this stuff? We do it because we want to feel better about ourselves. And I get that. But when your lips look like two hot air balloons that are sagging or about to pop, that's a problem. Stop injecting your stuff, ladies. Okay? Oh, questions, comments, or concerns? That is the topics I have today. If we talked about earlier, we talked about Dave, Andrew, and Chris Cuomo and the troubles about helping your family, helping the people that are close to you when they're toxic, when they are toxic, or you're toxic, and how that can ruin your life. We talked about Tiffany Haddish and Common, how their relationships, when you're with a toxic person that has a background and then they can't get past it. So it affects the good relationship that you could have had. And then we also talked about some news topics, right? We talked about a bunch of news topics. And I'm just putting my little silly spin on it, but that's just the way I see it, okay, for people. I hope let me know down in the comments, how did y'all Thanksgivings go? I didn't hear nobody talk about that. Happy holidays to you guys. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I went over to a couple houses. I've been busy. I had a birthday party to go to. I had a couple people houses to go to. I was just kind of all over the place, you know. And so I went to one of my friend's house. I went and had like a normal plate of food there. And then when I went to the second place, I had a big plate of food there. So I ate pretty good on Thanksgiving. I had a good time, you know, hanging out and stuff like that. And then out here, the weather's getting cooler and colder and everything like that. So I know right now at this time of year, people get dreary. This is a time of year that people are kind of down. They get depressed and things like that. I hope that none of you guys are feeling that. I hope none of you guys are feeling that you are alone or you're depressed or you have that pressure on you because it is the holiday season. Listen, somebody I know always feels like they got to go above and beyond during the holiday season to the point that it taxes them. And I know it's not just them. There's a lot of Americans that go out there and spend during this time of the year because they feel that they have to maintain or keep up a tradition or they have to get somebody's stuff just because. Listen, let me tell you something. If you are doing that right now during this holiday season, you do not have to spend yourself into debt. Do you understand? That's one of those brainwashing things that we've come to know because we've just seen it all our lives. And we think that we have to do above and beyond, you know, for a made up holiday. Okay? And when I say made up holiday, I'm not saying about acknowledging the birth of Jesus and stuff like that. I'm talking about the fact that is it really about that anymore? It's about Santa Claus and reindeers and bad sweaters and nasty fruitcake. All right? Right? Let's see what the chat says. Great Thanksgiving here. Both our sons and spouses were here. My daughter-in-law cooked the meal. Love that. Oh, that is great. That is great. Yeah, no. You know what? So I think if you guys have been watching or been here on this channel, at some point I talked about my favorite 4 holidays. The next one coming up is actually New Year's. I enjoy New Year's. I enjoy Halloween. I enjoy Thanksgiving, and I enjoy my birthday. So those are the 4 holidays I celebrate. All the rest of them, I feel like people say, you don't celebrate Mother's Day? Well, no, I'm not a mother. No, I'm saying that what I talk to my mom all the time. I appreciate my mom all the time. Why do I have to wait till one day to appreciate my mom? Now, on that day, I do acknowledge people. And on some of these holidays, I do acknowledge people. On Christmas, I will acknowledge people. You know, I still have my young son And my young daughter, I still have to make sure that, you know, they know that there's no, oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. They know there ain't no Santa Claus. I asked my son, he's like, how long ago you didn't know there was Santa Claus? Like, oh, pretty long ago, Dad. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good, kid. I said, well, here's the truth. Daddy is a little broke this Christmas time, so this is what you get. Are you okay with that? He was like, oh yeah, I'm more than fine with that. I'm like, oh, you're a good kid. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm culinary challenge, Karen. Hey, you know what, David Kathy, I remember when I had to cook my first Thanksgiving meal. I have never to this day cooked a turkey for Thanksgiving. I've not done that. Now I have cooked Thanksgiving meals before, right? Um, well, typically what I do, because it's usually myself and a small bunch of people, is I usually do something like Cornish hens, and I get one of those little roasting pots, and I put the three hens in there, and you get your onions, and you get your broth, and you get your seasoning, and all that stuff, right? And that comes out pretty good. See, we buy these turkeys. Why? Think about it. Think about the why. Think about how insane this is. We buy turkeys because that's what we saw when we were kids. We buy these turkeys because we associate that with Thanksgiving. So people think they got to go buy turkeys. You don't have to go buy a turkey. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't even like turkey. I don't mind eat. I eat a lot of turkey, like turkey bacon and stuff like that. So I don't have a problem with turkey. I eat turkey sausage and stuff like that. But do you really need that big of a turkey? Now people buy it because the whole family's coming over. It's a really huge bird to be able to give a lot of meat and stuff like that too. So it makes sense. But we do a lot of this stuff because it's tradition. We do a lot of this stuff because we've been taught to do it. We do a lot of it because we are expected to do it. We do a lot of this stuff because that's all we know. And here on the Sensational Gent, it's about breaking out of doing just things because you've been told or you were taught to do them. That's why I bring up these topics, to just break your mind out of thinking that you have to do something, because you don't. And Cornish hens are really good. Kevin says, I cooked one for my dogs and put the turkey from this year in the freezer. Oh, yeah, the Cornish hens? Yeah, absolutely. They probably love that, didn't they? Our roommate brings one home every year. A turkey? Yeah. Well, again, some people feel that's a tradition that they have to uphold, and that's totally understandable. That is totally understandable. I just, I don't know. I just don't look at holidays the same, especially I know when there's like money to be gained, that these people only care about their profits. They only care about getting into the black, and out of the red in the fourth quarter of the year. That's what they care about. They don't care about you and your family going into debt. You have people that can't afford to do normal stuff, but yet and still they can find the money to go ahead and put themselves in debt to make sure that Christmas occurs. Please. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, that's silly. It's silly to put yourself in debt for stuff that's just stuff. Like, stuff doesn't matter, you know? And I think why Thanksgiving is still up there, even though it is a commercialized holiday as well. And then you can say the implications of where Thanksgiving started and stuff like that, the lies we were told about some of it. But I look at it a little bit differently. It's transformed for me, right? Thanksgiving is more about, having time with your family, your friends, eating around the table, having some camaraderie. That's the way I look at it. Because I remember when I was on the submarine, that was probably one of the hardest out of all the holidays. I've missed Christmases before. I didn't think much of it. But Thanksgiving was tough. Being on the way on the submarine, they cooked and they had it all decorated. The cooking crew bought decorations and stuff. And so you're sitting on there and there's little lights strung around. It looks all good and stuff like that. And all it made me think about was I wasn't home. And really and truly, given what Thanksgiving was and when we pulled back into the house, so it was still going to be like another 3 weeks. No, it was almost another month before I made it home. One of the Thanksgivings I remember, my very first Thanksgiving out to sea on a submarine, it was another month before I went home after that. So here it is, we're eating all this. I think a lot of food was good though. We had some really good cooks. Okay. But you know, it is what it is. His work gives him one. Yeah. Well, if his work gives him one, look, if his work gives him a turkey, I'm not gonna say no to that. Okay. I I get it. I get it. However, Karen, I'm just saying that why do we do turkeys? And again, it makes sense if you have a huge family and you want enough meat to be able to cut off everybody. That makes sense because these turkeys are huge. But if you're not entertaining a lot of folk, there's a lot of other options. You don't have to do turkey. You know what I mean? There's so many other things you can do. So I think it was 2 Thanksgivings ago, or maybe it was the one in 2020. So yeah, 1 Thanksgiving ago. Me and my daughter just had barbecue ribs and baked beans and macaroni and cheese. That's what we had. That's what we ate. That's what we had. It was good. All right. Maybe it was 2 Thanksgivings ago. I've been in this apartment for over a year now. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right. So is there anything else that y'all got for me? Whatever. Let me, like, I thank you guys for being here. Let me make sure that I cover what I need to say at the end. So, question of the day: how do you deal with toxic people that you are close with? How do you deal with people that you're close with that bring toxicity to your relationship? How do you deal with them? You guys here in the comments have already talked about it. Karen, you talked about you cut your brother off and stuff like that. But you all out there that are watching this maybe as a pre-recorded live stream, let me know. Let me know down in the comments below. How do you deal with toxic people that you're close with? All right. I want to thank my guests. I'm gonna go back through. Karen says, sounds delicious. It is delicious, Karen. Then we have, thank you, Karen, for being here. Thank you, Dave and Kathy, for being here. Thank you, Neil. I have a story to tell. Thank you for being here, brother, when you was here. Who else did we have in here? Thank you to my friends at Flowers, Eggs, and Yeast who had to run. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. And we had a pretty chill live stream today. I get it. It's after the holidays. Everybody's still kind of running around and stuff like that. But I'm very grateful for you all that was here. Thank you for taking your time out of your evening to be here for me. I have a new fitness video that's coming out tomorrow on the Sensational Fitness and Wellness channel. If you are not subscribed to that channel, that link is down below. So I am proposing to you guys, I'm going to talk about this new diet routine that's out there. You may or may not have heard of it, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow on the Sensational Fitness and Wellness. So you're going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to check that video out. And not only am I going to talk about that diet, but I also, in this video, I also give my modification to that diet so that it could be a little bit more effective than what it is. So you're going to want to check that video out tomorrow. The link is in the description to get the Sensational Fitness and Wellness channel so you can subscribe. Tune in next week, live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll have a new topic then. I usually wait through the week to get, to see what's the news of the week. And then I like to come up with my topic. And then let's see if there's any more comments before I. Dave and Kathy Hyde say, love it, Sean. Thank you so much, y'all, for being here. I really appreciate y'all sitting here and taking time out of your day to be here. Kathy, I'm not very good at it my own self. And then Karen says, thanks, Sean. Oh, no problem. Again, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. At the end of the day, as I always say, take care of yourselves and learn to live your best life.